Hello, Steeler Nation. Hello, Pittsburgh Steeler fans, and welcome to the latest episode of the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. I'm your co-host, Owen, Pittsburgh Owen to be precise, your voice from across the pond. And today we're asking, is Malik Willis destined to become a Pittsburgh Steeler? That's what the latest coming out of the state seems to be. Now, is this man here going to try and build a legacy for himself? That's the question. It seems like from the press conference of the day, Kevin Colbert said he wants to make this draft his favorite ever. It seems like he's really up for legacy building. And could Malik Willis be part of that legacy? Could he be leaving behind the future franchise quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers? Could that be his intention? It's all up in the air. So, guys, Malik Willis, what are they saying over in America? Well, according to a lot of draft experts in the USA, it seems like the Pittsburgh Steelers are destined to try and take Malik Willis. Some draft experts even predicting that Willis may fall to the Steelers at 20. Others predicting the Steelers may need to trade up to get above the likes of Carolina, New Orleans, etc., to actually secure their man. Certainly, there seems to be a Steelers love affair with Malik Willis. Mike Tomlin, Art Rooney II, Kevin Colbert, Mike Sullivan, Matt Canada have all attended lots of the events to do with Malik Willis, whether that's his pro days, the combine. They've watched his live games. They've taken a real interest in Malik Willis. There seems to be a real desire amongst the Pittsburgh Steelers hierarchy to actually draft a quarterback. Because for the first time in 18 years, the Pittsburgh Steelers are without a franchise quarterback since Big Ben hung up his cleats at the end of last season. Now, where are these rumors coming from? What is the situation? Well, I've been watching a lot of NFL Network recently on the NFL International Game Pass. And people like Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero have all talked about the Steelers' intention possibly to draft a quarterback. Ian Rappaport talked about the Steelers needing to trade above Carolina and New Orleans. That was his take on it to get their man. Whether that be, in his case, he said Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett. Tom Pelissero talked about Malik Willis, and he said that several head coaches of NFL franchises had talked about Malik Willis being the quarterback in this class with the most upside, the highest ceiling, and the best NFL possibilities. Todd McShay, draft expert, someone who is highly regarded in the draft world, talked about Malik Willis, and he talked about the Pittsburgh Steelers needing a quarterback. He said that there may be a situation rise where the Steelers may need to trade past Carolina to actually get hold of Malik Willis. However, Carolina seemed to have a love affair with Kenny Pickett from what the pro days were showing. Tom McShay also said this. He said, as it stands right now, my sources don't believe there is a team in the top 19 picks that will be drafting a quarterback. There's always a shock on draft night, and teams always look to trade up for a signal caller. But the Pittsburgh Steelers at 20 is the first spot I'm hearing serious quarterback consideration. Word is the Steelers like Liberty's Willis. So the question for Pittsburgh's GM Kevin Colbert and coach Mike Tomlin, can they pull a Bill Belichick and just hold tight for their guy? Remember, New England stayed put at 15 last season and landed Mac Jones. Now, that's the latest coming from Todd McShay, and that's been reported on a number of different platforms that there is a chance that Willis could well fall to 20, and the Steelers would definitely take him there at pick 20. So, Malik Willis, is he the future franchise quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers? Is he someone the Steelers should be interested in? Well, he's described as being the quarterback in this draft with the highest ceiling. A quarterback that is most likely to succeed in the NFL. However, there's a lot of talk that he may be up to 2 years away from being ready to be an NFL starter, which of course in itself raises questions. Now, I may be putting 2 and 2 together here and getting 5, which I don't normally do, but I'm going to put 2 and 2 here together and get 5. Mitch Trubisky signed a 2-year deal. Malik Willis is 2 years away. Maybe, just maybe, there's a correlation there. Mitch Trubisky is a good mentor. He is a good leader. Could he be the one to mentor Malik Willis? In addition, why did the Steelers hire an assistant quarterbacks coach? It's not a normal thing that NFL teams do. Is it the intention that Mike Sullivan will work with Mason Rudolph and Mitch Trubisky to get them up to speed with the Canada system for this year and possibly some of next? And that David Corley Jr. will be solely there to work with the quarterback that we draft, the rookie quarterback that we draft, to bring him on and get him ready for the Pittsburgh Steelers system. Again, more rumours, more putting two and two together and getting 78 in this case. What do we know about Malik Willis? Well, Malik Willis played for a small school in the Liberty Flames. He's 6 foot, he's 219 pounds. He has got an NFL.com grade of 6.41, which means that he will become a good starter within 2 years. Is it foreseen that the Steelers will take a very much a Kansas City type approach, whereby they will let Willis sit behind Trubisky and learn the same way that Mahomes did behind Alex Smith for a year? Could be the situation. Now, a lot of people talk about Malik Willis's small school background, but it is to be remembered that he actually started his college career at Auburn, but he transferred to Liberty in 2019 after the Auburn coaches decided that Willis would not be their starter. I guess in this case, more for Auburn, especially given the fact that Bo Nix has not exactly put up any trees. In 2019, he redshirted with the Flames after the NCAA refused to grant him permission to play. In 2020, he had 10 starts for Liberty and went with a 9-1 record. In 2021, Willis went 8-5 with a very much a struggling team. However, he was the shining light in the Liberty Flames team, and they did show off a wide variety of skills, including showing himself to be the archetypal mobile quarterback, the real threat on the ground as well as through the air. Now, if we have a look at Malik Willis's stats for his time in college, so you can see there from the facts and stats from ESPN that he started his career with Auburn, and pretty impressive time with Auburn. So let's have a look at his Liberty time. So in 2020, Willis attempted 265 passes and completed 170 for a completion percentage of 64.2 for over 2,000 yards, 8.5 yard average, 20 TDs, 6 interceptions, and had a long of 83. In 2021, Willis attempted 339 passes and completed 207 of them, but behind a much worse offensive line. He had a 61.1% completion rate with 2,857 yards, 8.4 on average, 27 TDs, but a very high 12 interceptions. But like I said, that was a lot to link to the fact that the Liberty offense in 2021 was not particularly great. Also, he's a rushing threat. He is a dual threat quarterback. He possesses elite qualities on the ground. Willis attempted 141 rushes for 944 yards in 2020, 6.7 average, 14 TDs, and 67 was his long rush there. In 2021, he attempted 197 rushes for 878 yards, 4.5 yards per average, and 13 touchdowns, 56 been his long. Pretty impressive touchdown numbers for a quarterback on the rush. Now, what else about Malik Willis? What else do we know about Malik Willis? Well, he is a rare combination of elite rushing talent, and he has a rocket launcher of a right arm. Here is Malik Willis. Here he goes. Semba says it shows there his stats. There he is on the run. He has a very good deep ball, though. However, he has a great arm. He has what was described as being a rocket launcher of an arm. He has the arm to beat safeties into the deepest parts of the field. His frame is compact and broad and powerful, which means he can shrug off and beat off tackles, which playing behind the Pittsburgh line could be a quality that he needs. He has rare escapability and elusiveness on the go, a bit like Ben did at the start of his career. You know, that ability to get away, to escape from the pocket, to roll out, to run with the ball really is a quality that sets him apart from other quarterbacks. Possibly the closest bin is Des Ridder from the University of Cincinnati. He has the pace to release according to need as well. So he is very much matches the speed of his release and the strength he puts on the ball to the wide receivers route running. He is obviously very mobile. Like I said, in 6 games last year, he rushed for over 100 yards in those 6 games. Malik has the ability to read the blitz and has got real football intelligence. You know, when he's been interviewed by teams, including the Pittsburgh Steelers, he's talked very eloquently about plans, about ability to learn the playbook, about how he learns the playbook, about ideas he has for developing offenses. He's talked very much in showing off his football intelligence when it comes to being a quarterback, a leader on the field. He's very good at working through his progressions as well, which is obviously better than Mason Rudolph. He can get past his first progression and does have those legs when he needs them to get himself out of trouble. He has the ability to obviously go work in an RPO offense, which would fit in very well with what Matt Canada wants to institute at Pittsburgh. RPO is very much a system that Matt Canada loves to use. But like I said at the start of this video, he is 2 years away. Is that something the Pittsburgh Steelers are prepared to wait for 2 years? However, it does seem, according to these rumors that are currently doing the rounds, coming out of the USA and coming out of leading draft gurus like Todd McShay, that the Steelers really are fascinated with and want to take Malik Willis in the first round of the NFL draft in 2022, seeing Malik Willis as their future franchise quarterback. Obviously, there are advantages to having a franchise quarterback in the first round. You get them on a 5-year deal, which means you haven't got to pay them QB money for those 5 whole years, which is beneficial then to help to continue to build the roster. The moment you have a quarterback on a franchise who is off his rookie deal, you then have to start paying big money, which therefore affects your ability to hire and work in free agency to bring in better players. Well, that's pretty much it. We'll wait to see. I'll be back later in the week with my reflections ahead of draft day on Thursday. There's going to be a lot of content coming out of the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate with reaction videos, with analysis videos into all the Pittsburgh Steelers picks in the 2022 draft. I can't wait to see the draft on Thursday. I can't wait to see if we actually get a 20, to see if it is Willis or see who it is. Well, Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate, that's pretty much it. Thank you for listening. Drop your comments below. Who should we draft at 20? Do you think it's worth taking Malik Willis? Would you take Willis if you had the opportunity to? What are your thoughts? And if you haven't subbed yet, please sub to this channel. It's one of the best new channels on the internet about the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, guys, let's finish this the proper way. Let's do